center come treatment. Production come treatment center. So you take from the plantation, you treat and do something. 3, what is it? We want to have a bamboo village. Village means put all the houses, the buildings, inside the furniture, the equipment, everything, all bamboo based, everything. 4, we want to have a spa. You should remember, very good, thank you. See, now you stick, very good. Spa, restaurant and cafe. Alright? It's very obvious. And the 5th one, I call it bamboo memories. You know why bamboo memories? I use the word because this is memories at sea. Bamboo memory means after walking through the process of bamboo, you must remember it, therefore buy bamboo products. That's the message. You can call it shop or anything. So these are the 5 I like you to react, because if we get people like you to support, this would be my basis and tell the foundation, who's checked by the minister, who is also the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, who also has funds in that. I don't have to elaborate. To know more funds, get Macri website, and we have all of those. So please, over to you, Professor Fu. Jimmy, sorry.
Dr. Chairman, thank you. First of all, let me congratulate Macri for organizing this awesome and forward-looking gathering. I think your timing is perfect. We are actually at an interesting crossroad on a global basis at this present moment. Economic crisis, banking crisis, the first world do not know where to go. They don't have any solutions. When we had the Asian crisis, IMF, World Bank told everybody, you should have done this, you should not have done that, close all your banks down, do this, all your banks must be consolidated into 5 banks, etc., etc. They were going around telling everybody. Malaysia said, no, we'll solve our own problems, thank you very much. And that's what we did. So Bangkok, Thailand, they had a lot of problems, Vietnam, everybody except Malaysia during the Asian economic crisis. Indonesia had a lot of problems, ended up in President Suharto being, replaced, all sorts of things, but we didn't. Our Prime Minister stayed on. So now, we have another crisis. This time they don't have the answers.
Yes.
So, I think it's time that we Asians, I see the only European person attending is no longer here, so it's okay. That we start to tell ourselves, look in the mirror and say, hey guys, it's your turn.
Yes.
We don't have to be looking towards the West for solutions. Energy, why can't we produce our own energy? But unfortunately, we are still in the clutches of the international cartel. They control things. Right? Petrol, why aren't we using CNG for our cars? Because the petroleum company have such a strong grip. Right? You only can buy CNG from our Petronas station. In KL, I think there are only 2. One at KLCC, the other one at Jalan Maraf. But you see, if we use that, then we'll be saving a lot of money and we'll be saving a lot of energy. I mean, that's just one example. So we got to look at that. So now we look at steel, we look at cement, we talk about glass, aluminum. Everyone's talking about sustainability. Sustainability only applies to you. It doesn't apply to them. As architects, we are saying that sustainable, renewable, minimal carbon footprint, carbon emission, reduction of this and offsetting carbon emission, carbon audit. I mean, at the end of the day, where does it lead us to? Nowhere. So we got to look at all this and realize we got to find our own solution. Right? I mean, I can go on and on, but no point. The main thing is we come back to bamboo.
Yes.
What Macri has very rightly done so, is to say bamboo. Bamboo could be a solution to a lot of our energy issues. Right? And I think it's time Malaysia re-establish ourselves as a very small country that is lean and mean. Right? Very small, you don't do it big, small, lean, mean. Mean meaning you can do things and you do it well and you do it tough. You get it done. Yes. Right? And to do that is something which I always feel that we can be and we should become the leading country. As I said, if we could have been the leading country for rubber, we could be the leading country for tin, our oil, our petroleum is the highest grade in the petroleum industry. You know, I mean, we've got all top-notch things, you know. So now what we need is our mental capabilities be brought up to that same level of top-notch solving problem. So, you see, if we can create a center where we are really much into R&D, government support us, government is prepared to fund us in all areas, like the areas you're talking about, why not? Dr. Maslina's medical drugs and what have you. So if you create a center now, then we will be able to attract a lot of other countries where they have a lot of traditional medicine, but they've got nowhere to go. Because if they turn to Singapore say, oh, you don't fulfill the, I don't know what agency, you know, the Federal Agency of Drugs, which is tied up with Augusta in Houston, United States, and all. So since they don't approve, we can't approve, so sorry, you know. So okay, they don't, but we can. So if we can harness all this energy from everybody else, and they have been doing this for years, so the test that you are talking about has really got a long history of tradition. So I think that is the way to go. So this brings us to bamboo. Now, we got to really look into how we can move as far as the construction industry towards making bamboo a modern material of the new millennium. It's totally sustainable, totally renewable, and we Malaysia will totally reconceptualize how this material can be used so that we can become the prime mover for the design of new buildings, right, that don't have to require a lot of energy. Steel requires a lot of energy to produce. Aluminum requires 7 times energy that is required to produce steel. Glass requires a lot of energy. And cement. So all this requires a lot of process. Now, I've been using a lot of timber in my design, or I love to, until it became too expensive. Now, once I was at a conference and there was a Canadian architect who was talking about how he used to use timber. Now he doesn't. He tells people don't use timber because you've got to preserve the world, the rainforest and all. It's wrong to cut trees. So at that time, the moderator turned around and asked him, well, Jimmy says so now, what do you think? You know, you are using timber that's deforestation and what have you. So I said, well, he uses steel, he uses glass, but before you get your steel